Hello fellow Tamers, DJ on the mic, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the Red Hybrid BT7 lineup, because I've been testing this pretty hard in BT6 and it was working fantastic, and now with the additional support this is now at full power. So if this is the video for you as I break down my ratios and my tech behind this deck, then stick around and enjoy. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell, because I do videos on the reg. Okay, let's get on to the deck profile. Starting off with the eggs, pretty straightforward. We just go in with the 4 DemiMeramon. We don't run 5 eggs in this because, let's just say, the battles go so quick with this deck, you don't need 5. So DemiMeramon, mostly we're going to be attacking the player, so we're getting that 1000 DP whilst we're doing that, which is a great inheritable. Originally I did run Bokomon, but I felt like that was very restricted to particularly having the Flamemon that has piercing inheritable, so I just want to make it more universal, make sure that all my rookies and upwards just get the benefit of that 1000 DP, because it does come pretty clutch when you are facing off against the opponent's security. So that's the eggs. Let's go to the rookies. For the rookies, I run 13 in deck, starting off with the new Flamemon BT7, and let me tell you, I absolutely love the alternate art. And the reason why I also love this card is because it's a really good searcher. So on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with hybrid in its traits, Susanomon or Takuya amongst them, and then place the remaining in any order at the bottom of your deck. So really good search right here, but the inheritable is also tasty. With the on deletion, you may play Takuya from your hand without paying its memory cost. So the ideal stack with this would be your DemiMeramon using this Flamemon, and then your promo Aguni going for the swing, evolving to AncientGreymon. Obviously then that's deleted at the end of its turn due to promo Aguni's effect, which then is going to trigger this in order for you to play your Takuya. And then obviously if you do have some like Analog Youth in there, you could basically claw back the turn again, which is an ideal play, just making sure you get maximum gains off your turn and execution just with a few card combinations. So really powerful card right there, and I run that at 4. Then we run the 4 BT6 Flamemon. This ideally is going to be your mon in the raising. If you're going to be building up that stack, you want this bad boy in it just because of the inheritable. It grants your hybrid / 10 warrior piercing, which is super powerful, especially with the actual toolkit that this deck has now got with BT7 lineup. Really good. So definitely have this in your raising, because ideally you don't want to hard play it just due to the play cost. But if you do have the AncientGreymon package and you have to play a level 4 or lower hybrid, you could throw this one onto the field, but just be wary if the opposition is then going to obviously have some form of removal. Ideally probably would not put this out and just keep it ready for you to, commence in your raising area. Then we run 2 of the BT4 Flamemon. So this Flamemon is really good, but I feel like with the new support that BT7 has given us, I feel like I can comfortably run this at 2 now, because on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with hybrid in its form, and /or a red tamer amongst them to your hand, which is good. I must admit, being able to get another red tamer other than Takuya is absolutely fantastic, but we also have another bit of support in the form of Bokomon now, which kind of does the similar thing, but it is obviously a white card instead of a red. So I run this at 3. So with this, it reveals top 5 cards of your deck, and then add 1 card with hybrid or 10 warriors in its trays, and 1 tamer card amongst them, which is really good because it means that we run quite a hefty tamer package, so we can obviously pick out our Analog Youths out of that, which Flamemon here, BT4, can't. So this is the reason why I run this at 3 and run this at 2, so effectively it's kind of running at 5 in a weird kind of way, if you get what I mean. This obviously is a really good searcher, and then as well, what makes this card really powerful is the on turn, once per turn, when one of your tamers digivolves, gain 2 memory. Really powerful. Effectively, if you have 2 Bokomons out on the field and you have a tamer and you digivolve off that, obviously you're getting that for free off of the 1 Bokomon, but then you're also gaining another 2 memory due to the stacking of obviously having 2 or more out on the field. So really, really powerful. And realistically, your opponent wants to be getting rid of these because it can get a little bit out of control, especially with the new red hybrid. Well, any form of hybrid can capitalize on this form of strategy. So that is the rookies right there. Like I say, in love with this altar. It's beautiful. But let's get over to the champions. For the champions, I run 10 in the deck, and starting off with the new BurningGreymon. Absolutely love this card, super strong, just because this is your form of control in a red deck, which is relatively cheap. So if you was going to evo this off of a level 3, it is, you know, the cost of 3. If you was going to evo this off a tamer, it costs 2, and then if you was going to evo this off a level 4, it costs 1. And this is where you can really capitalize on the stacking, which works absolutely perfect with AncientGreymon, because effectively you could build a 5-check AncientGreymon in your raising and not even bother having your Tai Kamiya down if you couldn't run into it. It's incredibly strong and also great at removal, because when digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its traits or Takuya is in this Digivolution card stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. So really good for taking out the opposition's Bokomons. Really handy in that sense. And just like if you're facing off with Jesmon, getting rid of the Systemon Blancs there as well. Really powerful card right here, and probably one of my favorites to join the roster in BT7. And then part of the, obviously, the AncientGreymon package, you already know, it's got a bit of 4 promo goonies. This really just helps with the aggression of the deck, and it's still extremely powerful. But the thing that really helps now in BT7, if you are running EmperorGreymon as more of a tech option, it helps fuel the trash in order for you to get your Takuya play out and capitalize on getting more hybrids in its stack to obviously get that achieved. Because that's one thing with the new EmperorGreymon. To make a deck solely around EmperorGreymon would be pretty hard, because you don't get that much benefit in comparison to AncientGreymon. AncientGreymon is the powerhouse, but EmperorGreymon is more the tech piece in there, depending on obviously your board state. It's probably more like the end game. As long as you got like your Tai Kamiya out, effectively you can go in for 3 checks with EmperorGreymon. But it's a matter of just getting that card combination compared to AncientGreymon. With this, it's just extremely fast and really can clear games right there. And also it helps if you are in the racing area, you've got it all set up. Its inheritable actually reduces its cost by 2 when digivolving, so EmperorGreymon becomes a free cost, which is extremely, you know, good, especially if you do have a Tai Kamiya down. That's going to obviously keep you at 3. So you can't get choked, because that's the issue with hybrids. There's a lot of choking going on. so this is why, if you are going to be running red hybrid, ideally you do need the AncientGreymon package just for that aggression. You do lose a lot of speed with just having your EmperorGreymon as the main boss monster, in my personal opinion. But drop a comment in the box, let me know if you found a formula to make that really pop off. Obviously Ancient Evolution or Evolution Ancient could really help speed that up. That's definitely an option, and probably something that you might be worth running in your side deck. Then lastly, we run the 2 Agunimons right here. We just run this more for the search capabilities of our rookies, just so you know we are kind of getting some targets when we are cycling through. And I don't mind running quite a small champion package, because we do have a lot of search in this build. So definitely not worried about that whatsoever. And ideally, you know, if I do run into Analog Youth and I can I'm building up kind of 2 hands. I'm building up the trash to obviously get my EmperorGreymon play, and I'm also building up my hand to get my AncientGreymon play. So there's a lot of different avenues you can go down with Red Hybrid, which I really do like. And this is the reason why I run this spread. So that is the champions. Let's go over to the ultimates right now. Ultimates, we run 5 in the deck, starting off with the new Aldamon at 4. This card really helps just securing those checks, not even worried about a thing. This in combination with Atomic Inferno just makes EmperorGreymon just unkillable. Like, nothing can touch it. Nothing can touch it, because the inheritable here is, while this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its traits, it doesn't activate security effects of option cards. So, you know, bye-bye to Gaia Force, bye-bye to, you know, Iron Fisted Onslaught, all of that stuff. That just does not activate whilst you've got this mon in the stack, and this what really just makes this deck even more crazy and just enables you to just get those security checks through. Absolutely love this card. If you was going to use it by evoing off of Takuya, you are able to digivolve this for 1, which is even just stupid as well. Like, absolutely crazy getting that evo for 1, and its attack power, you know, goes up by additional 4k, which is huge. That obviously triggering the Takuya effect inevitable, which is going to then give him a security attack right there, and then just making him a 14k beat stick, which is just huge, absolutely huge. So this mon, extremely powerful. Run him at 4, would not run less. And then lastly, I do run the BT4 Aldamon at 1. This card is still great, absolutely fantastic, and is really handy if you are evoing it off Takuya, because obviously you're going to be getting that DP boost once more. You're going to be around about like at, you know, 11k, and then with the Takuya giving an additional 2k, you're going to be at 13k. That's going to trigger the security attack plus 1. Then obviously with this, it gives itself a security attack, so you're swinging for 3 securities base. If you got some Atomic Infernos in there, slap 2 on it, you're going to be then swinging for 5, and it's going to be just a really heavy hitter right there. Unfortunately, it doesn't obviously have the, you know, the inevitable of not triggering any form of option cards, but regardless, it's a great little tech option if you do want to just kind of change the strat depending on the opponent's board state. You might want to go hyper aggressive. This card definitely kind of comes clutch in that, and has come clutch quite a few times for me. So ultimate's broken down. Let's go over to the megas. For the megas, I run 6 in the deck, starting off with a new BT7 EmperorGreymon, and let's just appreciate this artwork, because the team really didn't miss on this one. Compared to the original, it's almost like a different Digimon, and just the attention to detail, I had to go get 2. I had to go get 2 for the deck. So EmperorGreymon is quite an interesting mon right here, because it on Digivolve, it does grant itself Blitz, a really good finisher for you to just claim that game if you do have the right tamer setup ready and prepped. Also, on your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon is blocked, unsuspend it and gain 1 memory for each Digivolution card in this Digimon with hybrid in its traits. Really strong. So basically, don't block it. If you block, it's just going to hit you again. So absolutely powerful card right here. But my issue is that it's not main boss monster material, just because of the Digimon that we already have. You know, we got AncientGreymon, which is just extremely powerful, absolutely raw power going through the security. Just because of how it's built and the cards that we do have now, we can further just utilize on just the standard ability of getting this additional security check per hybrid in its stack, which is huge. With EmperorGreymon, it requires a little bit more tech in order to get the bang for your buck, and it is more of a tech mon than an actual main boss mon, if that makes sense. Ideally, you do need the correct setup in order for you to get really great value off EmperorGreymon. One, you need to make sure that your trash is absolutely stacked. I mean, getting the right cards in there in order for you to utilize the Takuya play in order to just evo and just secure that you're not going to get clapped by the opposition security. You're going to be doing some big damage. So something I've slightly prepared earlier is a nice little stack that you ideally want to kind of go into in order for you to get the best bang for your buck in that sense. So let me just lay that up here. It's not as easy as it looks, but as you can see, if you was going to essentially use the Takuya effect and essentially place 5 cards with hybrid in its traits and then digivolve into your EmperorGreymon, boom, like so, this essentially is going to give you the best kind of like layout or the best card formation that you want. You do want obviously that piercing. That is just further securing that it's going to go through, block it, but I'm still going through. You know what I mean? And then obviously they got the Flamemon BT7. If it happens to die, then you can literally just play a Takuya out for free, which is really good. And then your Aldamon protecting you from option cards. So really, really strong right here. And this is ideally like the stack that you want to kind of use in order for you to really get good games. Then on top of that, ideally you do want to have the Tai Kamiya out, just so you get an additional security check. So ideally you're getting 3 security checks off this bad boy swing, which is nice. But the issue is, it's a lot of setup. It is a lot of setup. To do this by itself is going to be really hard. Ideally you don't want to build a stack up in raising and go into EmperorGreymon, because you just won't have that benefit of the additional security check. Most likely you probably be swinging for 2 checks, and that's if you have Tai Kamiya out. So this is why I think EmperorGreymon is a good tech piece, because you can build essentially a hand from your trash, if that makes sense, with your Analog Youth, your AncientGreymon, which we are running at 4, and using the promo Agunimon to essentially get this out quicker, put more cards in the trash, get more place to set up your EmperorGreymon ready to, you know, give you another option in case, you know, the board state gets a bit leery. You can just be like, yo, check out my EmperorGreymon, it's looking absolutely mean, and I've got the ideal stack in order for me to actually do some damage if I can't quite finish game. So this is the reason why I feel like it's a great support, but having this as a main boss monster would be quite hard to kind of execute. Ideally you're going to be wanting the evolution ancients, or ancient evolution, however you want to pronounce it, in a deck build if you're solely going to be using this as your boss monster, because you can kind of cheat your way up into this. But once again, it's gonna be, you're not gonna get that massive bang for your buck, because you're gonna be missing out on some core pieces, essentially like your Aldamon, which is going to give you that protection, well, basically a mini delicate plan, but just not as hardcore as it. So this is the reason why I still run the AncientGreymon, just because of that raw strength that it has. Really powerful, great ways to get hybrids out on the field to trigger out your search effects with your level 3 Digimon, and then great interaction with your Analog Youth, which we do run in this deck build to just kind of get the trash built up and ready for you to essentially go into your EmperorGreymon and start swinging. I don't run Sassunamon in this package because I felt like it was a bit more of a hindrance, a bit clunky, and this, because it's classed as a hybrid, thank God, you can actually search this mon out more easier compared to Sassunamon, where it's only Flamemon BT7 that can actually search for that solely. So because it's a shaman, apparently. Weird. so this is the reason why I actually took one Sassunamon out and actually put another EmperorGreymon in, and just having this formula as the main piece for me to claim games, which is definitely working out a lot better. So that is the megas. Let's go over to the options and tamers, because they are also key for this deck to function. Kicking things off with the tamers, we run 9 in the deck. Pretty hefty, but absolutely required. So starting off with the 4 of Takuya, the new tamer that has dropped in this format, and is absolutely strong because it really has some unique interactions with AncientGreymon and EmperorGreymon, which for some reason I just don't know, it's weird. It's such a weird combo, but it's legal. It is legal and it works. So starting off, obviously it's triggered for security. You basically just play it for no cost, which is always great. It's pretty standard with your tamers. And then on the main, you may place 5 cards with hybrid in its traits from your trash under this tamer in any order to digivolve into EmperorGreymon in your hand for its evolution cost, as if the tamer was a level 5 red Digimon. So this right here is obviously your main tech piece to get EmperorGreymon out quite efficiently. But the thing right here with the wording, because it says you may, what you can do is effectively trigger the effect, get your stack, but not actually evo into EmperorGreymon, which is weird. So you don't pay any form of memory costs or anything, because obviously you're not digivolved, but you don't have to evolve into EmperorGreymon, even though it kind of states that you do, but apparently it doesn't. So from that point, obviously you've got this stack underneath. Effectively, you can then evo to AncientGreymon, but essentially you'd have to like evo onto this. So you'd have to put like a BurningGreymon, an Aldamon, and then your AncientGreymon on top of that, and then you've got an equivalent of like a 9-check AncientGreymon on the field, which is actually pretty nutty. But to be honest, in this format, you kind of need it, especially with the yellow hybrids constantly recovering. I mean, one of my games, I had to go through 9 security checks, and let me tell you, I was swinging in. I was absolutely Dynasty Warriors 9 clawing through that bad boy. So it's crazy that this interaction can actually happen. If you get it off, great, but 9 times out of 10, you just kind of want to, you know, get your EmperorGreymon and just finish up game, because on your turn, it does grant additional 2000 DP, and then if the Digimon has 1000 DP or more, it gains a security type +1, so really good. And this is the reason why you want this on your EmperorGreymon, just because of that additional security check right there. As well, if you do have obviously your Tai Kamiya, which we do run this bad boy at 2, it means that you're gonna get an additional security check, because obviously you've got 5 cards in its stack, which is massively helpful. Obviously with the Tai Kamiya, great memory setter right there, which you do need in this format. There's a lot of choking going on. Everyone's just trying to choke each other out, and it's just really annoying, especially when also you want to get your core plays popping off. So definitely a Tai Kamiya right there. This obviously helps with your AncientGreymon in Raise now if you've gone for a full stack. Just make sure that AncientGreymon swings for 5 checks instead of 4, which is banging. And then also on top of that, if you've got some Atomic Infernos, you can really just start popping off and just clawing through the opposition super quick. Definitely helpful for your OTK strategy. If this pops off in your security, even better. 9 times out of 10, I feel like 2's just enough. You could really run 3 if you want to, but I don't want to run too many Tamers, which is kind of weird because obviously it is a hybrid format. But I feel like 2's just the right amount. I've got good ways to search for it, which is cool. So this is the reason why I run 2. And then lastly, we do run the free Analog Youth, aka the boy. So this card is actually really useful in this particular deck, just because of assisting with getting the trash loaded up nicely, helping with the AncientGreymon / Agunimon tech with just extending those plays and just really keeping that aggression going, and just good to kind of search out your key cards as well. So like I say, it really helps with those searches, especially for a 2 cost. Really helpful right there, so you can't really complain. But obviously for the new players, on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon among them, and then trash the rest. So like I say, really good for just getting those key cards, loading up the trash, and you can kind of pick which Digimon you want. So say if you got this kind of, let's see, so say if we pulled that, we got this, and we got this. Ideally, what you want to be doing, if these 3 cards came up from Analog Youth, you'd pick this, and then you trash these. So these are basically securing that one. Your EmperorGreymon's going to have a built-in mini delicate plan, and then also be able to pierce there as well. So basically the opposition definitely does not want to block, or actually physically can't block even further, because it's still going through and you're just going to give me a ton of memory. So Analog Youth, absolutely powerful card, definitely staple, definitely run it free. If you've got a side deck, maybe throw in 4 just for extra measure, because obviously with AncientGreymon and its all turns, when your level 5 or higher Digimon with dissolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer, and if you do, you gain memory by 1 and hatch a Digi-Egg. So if you've got 3 out, you literally suspend all of them. It's back on your turn, which is beautiful, and that's what's really powerful about this card and why it's definitely needed in this deck. So going on to the options. So options wise, we run 2 Giga Storm, and this is new from the BT7. This is so good. It's so good. This is in your security. It is really great, just clearing a freaking wide board right there. And it is quite common when you are versing, when you face off with the yellow hybrid, they're all about Tamers. So getting this out when they've kind of flooded the board with the jet sulfies, really handy, really good. So definitely run that at 2 right there. Then I run 2 Firedrake Strike. So you're probably thinking, why the hell are you running this card? This card is actually quite crazy, because effectively it can be as strong as a Gaia Force for half the cost, because you're able to choose one of your Digimon with hybrid in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less or equal to the chosen Digimon's DP. So this is massive, because effectively if you're going to use your promo Aguni into your AncientGreymon, effectively you've got an option card that can delete a 13k DP Digimon of the opposition, which is huge. Absolutely great. Game changer for 4 cost. You're not giving them too much memory to make them a cheeky recover. So effectively, depending on when you actually evo into AncientGreymon, if it's still on your turn, you could, say if you're on 3 and you've got your promo Agunimon out, and you use the on when attacking ability to go into your AncientGrey, it's still gonna be on your turn. Successful checks went through, it's still on the field. Then they've got a big boss monster out, you know, you want to get rid of it before it pops off. Say if there's a Jessmon there chilling, you could basically just use the Firedrake Strike, put them onto 3. You bang that monster out. Obviously your AncientGreymon is going to die. If you've got Analog Youths out, so say if you've got, I don't know, say if you just had 2 Analog Youths, suspend those, put them back to 1, which is absolute great value right there. Also take into consideration, it does include essentially like if you've boosted your Digimon. So say if I've put an Atomic Inferno on a Digimon, which is then, say for EmperorGrey, I've boosted up to then 16k, then use this, then it can delete a 16k mon, because it is equal to the chosen Digimon's DP, so obviously your DP at the time, which is massive. Absolutely really powerful card. Also as well, if it's procced in security, you may play a Takuya from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Obviously you've got your Analog Youths there. You know, there's gonna be times where you might accidentally have to trash a Takuya depending on obviously what you get. This right here can obviously just play that back out for no cost, so really can come clutch and really can change the game state quite effectively, depending on, you know, if you're getting clapped and boom, you proc into this, you could set up nicely and claim game, because obviously they would have to essentially get some blockers out, because I'm going to be just coming in swarming next round. So really powerful. This reason I run 2, very useful. Then lastly, we run 3 Atomic Infernos. This is still a freaking nutty card, absolutely comes clutch. Really useful in a red hybrid deck, any deck to be fair, because it doesn't state that it has to be on a red Digimon. It can be on just a Digimon with hybrid in its trait. So really powerful. Grants that 3000 DP and additional security check by 1. One thing that's really handy with this is, say if you've kind of digivolved into Burning Grey, it doesn't quite reach the threshold to get that security check, which is a little bit annoying. But then obviously if you pop that, boom, essentially you can make that go into a free security check swinging beat stick, which is always good fun. So this right here, you know, procced in security gives all your Digimon security a check +1, and that could be any Digimon that's not even out on the field yet. So say, like I say, if they've gone in pretty hard, they've procced your Atomic Inferno, they've procced this so to get your Takuya out from your trash or hand, that is going to set up a nasty play next turn, which the opposition may not be able to handle. So definitely run 3. You could flex it to 4 if you want to, but I feel like 3 is a good number, and I definitely like my removal package, because yeah, you still need to remove threats. You still need to remove threats, and I'm a big believer of just making sure you've got a good spicy security And the reason why I've not running like maybe 4 Bokomon is just because I want to ensure that I'm getting a good hefty bit of options in my security to really help with my turn aggression. So that is the options and tamers. Let's go over to my final thoughts of the deck. So that is my deck profile for BT7 Red Hybrids. But the main question is, what do I think to this deck? I'm in love with it. I absolutely love this deck. I've been so excited for BT7 to drop. I mean, just eyeing up these cards so much. And in the BT6/EX1 era, I was just preparing for this. I was preparing so hard, like making sure I got my promo goonies, making sure I got my EmperorGreymons, just getting set up. So I just know how hyper aggressive this deck can be with the utility that it has, and it's only going to get better. I feel like with the new EmperorGreymon, it's very hard to make it your main boss monster. I'm not gonna lie, just because of AncientGreymon and it's just raw power, absolutely raw power. You can clean a game out pretty comfortably in 3 turns, which is crazy. With this format, there's a lot of security recovery, like even more so than what I faced in BT6. So for AncientGreymon to kind of deal with that quite effectively with the combination of the new Aldamon, I feel like I can just get through that easily, not even an issue, especially with obviously with the combination with the Atomic Inferno just to accompany. It's pretty hard to then for anyone to kill EmperorGreymon once he's out. Once he's a threat, he's an absolute menace. But I do like EmperorGreymon in terms of what it can do as a tech piece. I feel that's what is kind of needed. Like I say, I did try to run Sassunamon, but I felt it just added a bit of clunk, and when I kind of got it out, it just was effectively a Gaia Force and a body on the field. But back times then, the opposition had game, because we don't really run blockers in this format. So yeah, if I can't really do much with it, it's no point really having it in, and there's only pretty much one of my searches that can get it out, and that is the new Flamemon. Bokomon can't search for it because it's not a 10 warriors, and it's a shaman, so it's just like, if I miss it, it's gone. It is absolutely gone, which is unfortunate. I feel like you do get a lot more benefit from running the 2 EmperorGreymons, because you can effectively combo it up with your Tai Kamiya. You can control what goes in the trash in order for you to effectively get a good stat going. It's definitely an awesome tech piece, but I do feel like if you want to be winning successfully, which I mean, you don't want to be winning, well, you don't want to be winning unsuccessfully, that'd be classed as losing. You're gonna need the AncientGreymon / Promo Agunimon package. It just makes it flawless. The consistency is key, and this is what it's all about. Effectively, you could, like I say, Ancient Evolution or Evolution Ancient. That is an option. That is definitely an option. There's something that I probably would side deck in as a tech piece, because it will get your EmperorGreymon out a lot more quicker. But effectively, you're still not going to get the massive benefit compared to evoing it off your Takuya. And if it had something, obviously it's got the memory gain per hybrid, but if it just gave just a security check or something, that would just make it a lot better and definitely worthy of the boss's status. The new BurningGreymon is amazing, absolutely fantastic. Really love the tech behind it, and absolute sleeper. Absolute sleeper. The fact that it enables you to to stack on top of a level 4 for 1 is huge, and is massive for AncientGreymon, because in raising, depending on if the opponent gives you a ton of memory, you could make this mon get a nice 5 check easy. Just having a two stack of that, and then going into your Aldamon, and then obviously bring out a raising, boom, get your AncientGreymon, depending on also if you do have your Tai Kamiya out. It just adds massive benefit to AncientGreymon. So this is the reason why I do love it, and just that nice bit of control of just deleting mini bodies on the field, especially if your opponent's rocking some Bokomons. You want to make sure you're getting that, making sure that's in the trash and the opposition's trash, because yeah, really annoying. But even Bokomon as well, just a great way to search out my 10 warrior, which is obviously going to be your AncientGreymon. Really handy. And then just just to gain 2 memory for Digivolving. Make sure you get free Digivolution costs off Tamers if it's still out on the board, and obviously if it stacks, you can just gain a ton of memory right there. If you ideally, you know, if you have 3 of them out, effectively you're getting 6 memory, which is quite nutty right there. So overall, really love this deck. It's been working fantastic. Cannot wait to get my 4th alt Flamemon, because like I said, I really do love the alternate art on that. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you think to this deck. How you finding Red Hybrid? How you find this format? What deck are you going to be running this format? Drop it in the comment. Let me know. But if you enjoyed the video, smash it with like standard, and have an excellent day. That's your boy DigiDread, off the mic.